All right, welcome to What Do You Collect? This is a fun episode we got here. Let's go around. We got Mike Geo over here from Sports Card Nonsense. We got Steve from NBA Topshot and Billy from Steel-SteelCity Collectibles. How's everybody feeling tonight? How we collecting?
What do you collect? Show me your collection. You're my one of one. You're my kind of obsession. My big break.
This segment is brought to you by NBA Topshot.
What's up,
Look at
man?
this.
Good.
What
I'm
is
setting
up,
up the house
everybody?
over there. How are we doing? What do we got over there? We got a whole family. Am I yelling too loud over there?
Is that
Who's
dogs?
No.
What's going on here?
I apologize. I think my Huskies realized that I am still home right now. I got 3 of them, and they decided to sing. I apologize.
I didn't know. I said,
I got the headphones on. I'm like, I didn't even hear them. And then I heard them. I'm like, oh man. I apologize. What you were talking about, things I collect. I collect Huskies. I have 3 Huskies. They're different color parallels. I got a red parallel and 2 black. So, it's a fun fact about me.
Very cool, very nice. I didn't know. I thought we were getting joined by the 101 Dalmatians over here tonight. I said, "What's going on?"
Yeah. They'll make the noise for it. They're happy to perform for you. You were asking for live music earlier. You got live music.
Hey, listen, it's true. Listen. I hope they like the New Yorkers. Maybe it was the accent threw them off.
That's it.
This guy blasting through the speakers in this house. But thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you joining here tonight. You guys are all legends here in the industry for what you guys bring to social media. You bring to the collecting communities. So I just appreciate having this connection that we have here tonight. So, Mike, we know from the Sports Card Nonsense, I love a lot of the info and sports and news info that you guys put out there, and just the fun podcasts and chats you guys have. So if you want to tell a little bit about yourselves and Mike, we're going to start out with you and just tell us what you guys got going on and where we can keep following you and all about it.
Yeah, no, appreciate you having me on. Yeah, Mike Geo from the Sports Cards Nonsense. Got the podcast and the Facebook group, and we break under that same name. So, yeah, we've kind of made the last year really trying to transition into the whole media thing and try to add some other content guys to us and make a push at YouTube. So, it's been a fun year trying to do the other stuff. Podcasting and Facebook, we do well. The rest of the stuff we've been lacking, so we're trying to catch up now. So,
Awesome. All right, yeah, definitely. I love the content out there on social. It's definitely fun to see a lot of the takes that you guys have going on, and love to get you here in the YouTube community. So welcome aboard, Steve, for NBA Topshot. How are we feeling, LB? How are we doing today? We want to tell the audience a little about NBA Topshot, what you do there, and just where we could keep following and looking out for NBA Topshot stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm good. Always good connecting with you guys and similar people like yourselves, Billy and Mike. But I'm from Southeast Australia. I work remotely for NBA Topshot on all things sort of content and community, which is a vast array of things. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up this season, and really interested to see how people go forth and especially like collect those rookies at the start of the season. It's the one time of the year that we know where you can 100% say that there's going to be a moment or a card from that specific game. So we have people that go to the games hoping to get into the video highlights and stuff like that. We'll get lots of rookie moments. So that's always exciting time when the season starts, because we always know we're going to get those rookie moments in play.
Absolutely. Great, Steve. Appreciate you coming on here. And Billy all the way from Steel-SteelCity Collectibles in there in Pittsburgh as your location. I can tell, obviously, by the paraphernalia you got on here. You a Pittsburgh fan. What's going on here, Billy?
I am. Let me guess. It was the skeleton that gave it away, right? That lets you know I'm a Pittsburgh fan. That's the Pirates' hopes and dreams behind me right now. But me and my Huskies, we're from Pittsburgh, PA. My name's Billy. I'm the marketing coordinator for Steel-SteelCity Collectibles. So all of the marketing you see from the company, all of the social media, all the great video content that we've been putting out lately, that's all coming through me and my team here. We have a fantastic team. We actually have tripled its size over the past 2 years. So we really are, like we talked about, there's plenty of great trading card content out there. We just want to continue being a great tool for the hobby, a great asset for the hobby, and be able to just be able to contribute, because the people are what's driving the hobby right now. So if we can connect with the people, then we're doing our job. So I'm a Pittsburgh collector myself. We've definitely seen some better days sports wise. I think at least the Steelers are doing pretty well. Penguins have started off pretty well, and hey, we got Paul skiing. So That's about our big plus on the baseball side of things. No basketball, unfortunately. We have college basketball locally. We have Pitt, Duquesne, and a couple other universities, but unfortunately, we don't have an NBA team. That's something I'd love to see the city get at some point.
Sure. If you're watching NBA though, who are you rooting for? Who's the closest, or I guess what team you pick? Because if you're watching a game, you got to be rooting for something.
Yeah, absolutely. So my very first NBA game years ago, I went to a Beckett event in Dallas, and we went to a Mavericks game. And so ever since then, I've been partial to them just because they were my first. They were my first time seeing the NBA in action, and seeing Dirk play. It was an absolutely awesome experience. So
Nice.
when I do gravitate towards the NBA, I definitely go towards the Mavs. So I know that's not geographically close whatsoever, but
That's fun.
that's definitely the team I would go for.
We got tons of Lakers fans here in New York. It doesn't have to be exactly in your zip code or area code. But to know, obviously, being dedicated to a team, seeing them grow. Getting pretty lucky there as far as like going from Dirk to going to Luka. But then now, guess what? We got a #1 draft pick that just so happens to be coming up here soon. You guys excited? I'm sure to see Cooper Flagg hitting the NBA, and already I'm sure people have been watching in Summer League, watching some of these preseason games. What are we guys thinking so far about that? What are we thinking how Cooper's going to be, hitting the NBA and some of these other draft picks coming through? Mike, you want to start a little bit NBA chat? What you think of our upcoming rookies this season?
Yeah, Cooper's interesting. I tell you, like the Mavs, I don't think there's a shot in the world they stay healthy. But if that team's healthy, that's an awesome team. Like AD is as good a power forward as the game has. Kyrie's top 3 as point guard when he's healthy. Klay Thompson can still shoot. It still stretches the floor for him. And then you add Cooper Flagg, who does a little bit of everything. So yeah, like if you want a dark horse to come out of the West, maybe. I think it's more realistic 2 of those 4 guys miss a ton of time and they win 46 games. But I would love to see them go on a tear. Them or San Antonio. They've got the roster. So.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, that'd be great. Yes, seeing a nice hometown rival between the Spurs and seeing Wemby against Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks. That's just right there. It's just drama and the script writing itself of the NBA. So that's just would be something exciting to watch. Steve, what are you thinking of our upcoming draft picks, and what are you looking forward to with coming up with the season here?
Man, Flagg's a stud. He's a shoe-in to be just fun to watch as well. So that's exciting, and it's not usual that a player like that gets dropped into a win now team. I know Kyrie's out now, but he'll be back. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out and how they use him. And obviously, like a lot of us saw him at Summer League live as well. And so it's always fun to see how that interprets into the league and what impact they're going to have. I like Fears as well. I think he's a dark horse, and maybe I'm a little bit biased because the Pelicans just came down to Melbourne and I managed to get to the game and see him in person, which I think matters sometimes. You can sort of see their attitude and how they attack, how they approach and stuff like that. But yeah, ultimately, like rookies drive a lot of the hobby, and so I'm always excited to see about who people chase, and then also like how collectors sort of value them, and then you can organize that on platform and see almost the Rookie of the Year ladder play out on the marketplace just by watching what other people think of it. So that's another part I always look forward to.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, there's definitely some good picks I think that are going to make a difference for a lot of the teams this year. Ace Bailey in there to the Utah Jazz.
Yep.
They're definitely going to, could get some good starting minutes on the court. That's also, important to see just exactly how many minutes they're taking up. Because sometimes if they're on if they're deep on the bench, who knows when they're making it out on the court. But you see some of these young guys on teams that are, desperate for scorers, and, who knows what's to happen, and they get enough reps out there. It's just interesting, and I think there's a lot of nice talent coming in with this draft league. Billy, anything that you're seeing with the drafts coming in? And as far as I know, obviously all the shows, trade shows, and what you guys have, what are you seeing in sales as far as the drafts and NBA, who's getting ready for the season? What are kind of your hot items and your take on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll tell you what, the flagship Topps product dropping this year probably has the most buzz around any basketball product that I've seen since maybe Zion Williamson's rookie year. I think Cooper Flagg is he's hitting it right at the right time where the hobby's really interested in him. Like you mentioned Fanatics Fest earlier, Cooper Flagg was there, and I remember just the crowds of people around him. It's almost like the hobby's already casted their vote. He could go out there and do whatever he wants on the court. I think the hype is real around Cooper Flagg right now. So, earlier today, Topps mentioned or let us know that they're issuing some limited edition posters. Cooper Flagg's already listed on those officially licensed NBA posters. So people are chasing his rookies. They're talking about him. And I think it's to the point where we're seeing non-basketball fans being able to recognize these big rookies' names as well. So, you talk about Ohtani in baseball, Aaron Judge in baseball. These are names where their names permeate the hobby. People are talking about them. People are looking for them. They're sharing big hits from breaks on social media. So I think the exposure in particular is really driving a lot of this interest. And I think Cooper Flagg is really at the forefront there. Probably top 5 collectible basketball players that we've seen people tweet about, post about, and really go after their products aggressively.
So Mike, if you've seen I think already the Topps now has come out, right? Isn't that the from the actual draft of Cooper Flagg? Is kind of is that the biggest card you'd say right now, or one you think that's going to be surpassed by another rookie card that comes out this year of him? Or
you're talking for Flagg?
Yeah, for Flagg and
he doesn't have. I think that was his first licensed product, like NBA licensed product. He's got like all the Bowman stuff with his Duke uniform.
Right.
Bowman's, what was it? Bowman Chrome University, Bowman's Best University. That stuff did really well. I mean, we don't mess with much basketball, and I don't do college anything. And so just to show you, like, to Billy's point, like the power of Cooper this year, we ripped like 10 cases of Bowman's Best University.
Wow.
We never do collegiate basketball ever. And people were like chewing it up. So
wow.
It seems like he's legit. And even Dylan Harper, the kid for the Spurs, like that's another team that, like, again, I don't think they're going to, but if you told me they won like 58 games this year, I wouldn't be totally shocked. So yeah, you got a couple big rookies and some decent win now spots.
Wow, yeah. And then as far as like, what do you guys think on, like, say, the rookie cards that are coming out? Like, I don't know, like, it's always hard to judge kind of like which one holds the value over the long run. It's kind of like, okay, is the Topps now when they're there with the hat on draft night? Is it going to be down the road a little bit when it's their first in live action shot in uniform? What do you guys kind of think on that in general, just for collecting?
I mean, to me, flagship. Like the first time Topps Chrome has a Cooper Flagg rookie, it's going to be huge. Like Topps Chrome was the thing back in the day. The fact that we haven't had it since 2009 with Curry, I think guys are going to go absolutely crazy. So long term, and Topps now, the tough thing is they can print as much as they want. Not that it's a bad product, but it's, whereas there's not a ton of rarity with it. With Topps Chrome, it's going to be the first year, the flagship coming back. I think that's the one that in 20, 30 years, whoever ends up being great from this class, I think that's the one people view as like the must-have rook.
I think so too. Topps has the ability, we saw like with the Ohtani 50-50 product last year, they have the ability to put out products around these players as well. So there's a potential that there's going to be a rookie card with a particular chase or particular value that we can't even imagine yet. They could be putting something out there where they already have something planned around Cooper Flagg, potentially with the logo man from his very first game. They could really do a lot with a lot of products out there now that they have the licensing and they have the access to these players and the memorabilia around it. They could potentially do some really, really big stuff. And the first time since Curry, I think that there's been a lot of innovation in the hobby where there could be a rookie card out there that we haven't even thought of yet that's really going to take the hobby by storm at some point.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's exciting stuff. I mean, I like to as you see the rookie craze, it's always like, okay, what do I go for and when do I, pull the trigger? Sometimes you're like, well, do you wait for those first couple, weeks to start out, months to start out? And then you're like, all right, the guy's not doing that great. The price drops, maybe I should get in on it now. Because sometimes it's like, do you buy right off the gate? But then sometimes if they're coming out hot, it's like, then that's it. You're kind of chasing that rookie goodbye. You're like, well, now that thing is just way up there. So, I don't know what I'm waiting for at this point, but I'm just going to have to do some trades or save up all year for this. And maybe at the end of the season, I could get one. But Steve, I want to just come to you a little bit. As I know with NBA Top Shot, just so happened to have a little partnership going on here with Cooper Flagg for the upcoming season. So I wanted to talk about some of those digital moments that are coming out and just some of that process, which you guys are partnering with Cooper for the season.
Yeah, and it's the exciting thing is it's not just Flagg. Obviously, like, he's a huge draw card, as you guys have sort of articulated. But it's interesting you say, like, you know, Tops, like, that's really exciting. They can actually sort of like mint whatever they want. We're kind of going in the opposite direction, and there'll only be like 16 to 1700 Cooper Flagg moments in the ecosystem all year. So they're going to be incredibly scarce. So I think that'll hold a lot of chase in terms of and FOMO for the community to try and really acquire one of those. But the other thing that we're doing is just partnering with like 20 plus rookies to get their autographs on moments as parallels, digital parallels to those rookie debut moments. And so we've worked really hard across the offseason to work with a lot of the rookies, basically all the lottery picks, to acquire those unique signatures and use them as parallels in the products. So that's actually really exciting. It should be something quite different for us as well.
That's fantastic. That's fun. That's definitely I love hearing that with the I don't know if you guys also, Mike and Billy, have checked out some of the NBA Top Shot moments, digital NFTs, collectible video highlights of your, you know, favorite players, historic and currently active players, and it's just a lot of fun stuff that comes along with, you know, being a collector and a member there. So it's like you can very much be in contact with other collectors and work out trades and just keep all to, you know, doing challenges and like weekly NBA Fast Break game, which is NBA Top Shot has his Fast Break fantasy game. So it's like you use your collection in order to put that towards playing an actual like challenge. So it would be for the night, okay, 5 of your players from your collection that are going to get a total of, you know, 43 pointers. So it's, you know, it's something that has to come up and you have to put your lineup together. So this kind of craze with the rookies is great because if they're good and there's limited supply, obviously, you know, you get a bunch of collectors wanting to go after that rookie, which obviously the chase on that gets hot, you know. So you guys know with the physical aspect of collecting, where it's like somebody's hot, there's a limited mint or not a lot of rookies, you know, that all of a sudden that's it, it's taken off. Like you have Cam Schlittler for the Yankees pitching in a you know, a great playoff game. He only has, you know, he has only one rookie card or maybe two out there. The price on this thing's just shooting up overnight.
How does that tall idiot with 4 starts in his career, never played more than 4 innings of useful baseball, come in a clinching series game against the Red Sox and strike out 12?
Yeah,
like, please explain that to me.
Man, I don't know if it's the fact that it's one of those like we don't have enough tape on this guy or he's too new, because I always catch that usually working against the Yankees where it's like a bullpen session and the Yankees can't get more than one run because it's like we've never seen these guys before. But yes, I mean, but they're throwing a ball. I mean, how much different stuff could this ball do?
He looked like Sandy Koufax. Like, it's embarrassing. First of all, the Sox should have closed it in game 2. The fact they went to game 3 against a 12-year-old on the mound and he does that was just ridiculous.
I couldn't believe it. I said I haven't seen a Yankee postseason like pitching performance like that in my lifetime. I mean, obviously I was there for the Don Lawson, you know, World Series perfect game, but besides that, he was just lights out, and I was
unhittable.
I didn't know what was going on. I mean, obviously the Blue Jays pull things back to perspective, but Mike, what are you thinking? What do you think is going on with the MLB this season, this postseason?
I mean, it's been a good mix. I mean, you have to have the stars, right, for the sake of the hobby and just for the sake of the viewership. So Judge being on top and making a deep playoff run, fantastic. Ohtani, the same thing. Like, that guy draws bigger than any baseball player that we've ever seen in that sport. I don't even think it's close. But it is also kind of nice to see some young blood. Like, the Mariners have never won a chip. I don't think the Blue Jays have won since Joe Carter in the early 90s. And there's nobody in the world who had either of those teams, never mind both, in the ALCS. I mean, you got Cal Raleigh. Yeah, I mean, it's just which I like. Like, people like the underdog, but you also have to have the star team there. So the fact that you have 3 underdogs because the Brewers having the best record in baseball is, again, totally out of left field. And then you have the Dodgers. So I think either way, out of the AL, you've got a team that people will root for against the big bad Dodgers if they get there. And if not, you get the Brewers and an underdog. We get somebody we haven't seen win before. So
Yeah, true. I mean, and who would have put? I wonder what the betting line was on Cal Raleigh being potential MVP of the season. I mean, that's
Stupid.
something I don't know how. I don't know where some of these things come up during the seasons, but it's just amazing to see. And then some stuff that just go throughout the hobby where it's like, I remember not that long ago where it's like everyone's talking Mike Trout. And just kind of seeing his career over time now. I wonder how that's turning out at this point. Do you see a lot of sell-offs? Do you see people buying because you think his retirement's coming soon? Billy, what are you kind of seeing on, like, you see an influx or a decrease in obviously those stars?
Yeah, absolutely. I think trading cards intrinsically goes hand in hand with the marketability of the player. So when the player is popular, when he's in the news, that's obviously translated into better sales around the player, around that player's trading cards, whether it's rookie cards or cards that you can get out of a current release. So guys like Mike Trout, I think they're always going to be big names. I think you're always going to have those guys, that are going to go after the rookie cards and the prospect cards. But I don't think anybody's going to turn their nose up necessarily at a Mike Trout auto if they're hitting that in a break or hitting that in a hobby box or anything. It's really funny. Some of these guys, they retire and then you don't hear from them again. You don't necessarily, they're not in the news or not in the headlines, and you see a lot of their stuff tend to plateau. Even some of these absolute great, absolute legends, sometimes they just hit a maximum point and then they just level off there. But when you start seeing these guys staying involved, they're coming back, they're doing stuff with the team, they're staying in the broadcasting. Even like the events around Ichiro earlier this year really bumped up the interest in his cards because he's back in front of people. He's back in the news. He's back in the headlines. He's back on social media, and that causes the interest in the cards to go up. So, I think some of those legends, it doesn't really matter necessarily how they're performing that year. If they're leveled, if they're having a really great year, the interest is going to go up for sure. But I think in general, as long as they're just keeping their name out there and people keep hearing the names, that, at least for me, is the biggest thing around collectabilities and the trading card value of these guys. If they can keep their name live, if they can keep them in front of fans, if they're fresh in people's minds, then people are going to recognize them. They're going to be instantly drawn. Trading cards, the best trading cards out there elicit an emotional response. So if you can pull a trading card to somebody who went, oh, wow, I remember this guy. I've seen this guy. I watched this guy. This guy's close to retiring. I want to hold on to his cards. You start getting all those gears in their mind going. And I think that really drives sales for a lot of these individual players.
For sure. Yep. As far as what I've been, taking a look myself and seeing who to purchase, where should I, invest in some, players at this point. Which older player do you see being the one to go after right now? Where you say, like, okay, their retirement's not far away. Obviously, we've been seeing LeBron obviously steady throughout, his career. But everyone's always at that. Is this his last season? Should I pick up those grail moments now of LeBron? Steve, is that kind of goes along with what you feel as well, or kind of
like the first thought is obviously LeBron, because when his decision's not for a marketing campaign, it's when is it going to be his time to end the game? And so that's got to be soonish, right? And then my second answer, which I think is aligned a bit towards my fandom bias because I absolutely love Steph Curry. My second thought was him. True sort of real legacy, one team player that's just almost, well, it is unheard of these days. And so I think a lot of his collectibles, regardless of the year he played, matter because it's still on the Golden State Warriors and it stays relevant. So they were literally the two players that I thought of when you brought it up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as far as with NBA Top Shot, do you see those sales kind of translating as well? Just kind of the, moments that people are going after. And
yeah, I think when you see the trends and when you look at the big sales, there's a commonality to it. And those two guys feature quite heavily, quite often in terms of just volume, but also like the highest player market cap, like what each of their moments are worth across all of their, across the whole platform put together. And so, yeah, I think that just generally happens organically. Like it's not even like a thing that you decide. It's the collectors kind of decide it. Like just exactly what I was saying about the rookies, you kind of see it play out in the marketplace. And then it's always right. That tends to be the rookie of the year and pretty much the rookie rankings. And so when it comes to trends, I think we see that too. Like LeBron pretty much dominates in terms of all the big sales and the Grail acquisitions.
Right. No, it's true. Yeah, it's been pretty much the gold standard, I guess, there for the NBA. Anything LeBron over the years, he has just been just at a steady rate. And as far as when you get those retirement talks, all of a sudden you start seeing those things creep up a little bit. Mike, as far as NBA collecting, are there any things that you'd see that you'd say, if I was just getting into collecting, what I should go after and what I should get, at this time, just because it might be a trend coming up?
Yeah, I mean, NBA is always tough. Like I always feel like the NBA is as volatile as any market except for like Bowman Chrome. Like prospecting guys in Bowman are freaks. Like they will freak out about a 19-year-old in the Dominican League hitting a 400-foot home run. His prices will spike. It's like the same with NBA with the card stuff. If a guy goes, like I'm trying to remember, and I was trying to remember a minute ago, there was a dude for the Lakers. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. Taylor Horton, whatever his name was.
Taylor Horton
Thanks.
Tucker, PhD.
Yeah, that dude scored 30 in a preseason game in his market, 20x overnight. And we started hearing how this is the guy that LeBron is going to lean on as his number 3 with Davis in the
He's
mix.
overseas now.
Yeah. Anybody want his cards now? I guess my biggest thing with the NBA is I would be super cautious with most sports are like this, but especially the NBA. I would just wait. Like if you want a Cooper Flagg Topps rookie, give it 2 weeks. There's a ton of Topps product coming out. If you want to buy a card to hold the card just because you want it, like look at what almost anybody, COVID to now, like because before COVID was a whole different world. Look at everybody who came up with hype, and even the guys who perform well, their cards are still worth much, much less after the initial product hype comes out. So if that's your guy, just wait. Like Drake May sells for less right now than he sold for last year at the beginning of the season. That's insane. Drake May is playing unbelievable right now, and they're winning games, and you can buy him cheaper than you could when he was hyped up. So that's always my warning to anybody coming into any space. Like hype drives the market, so just give things a little bit of time, and you can get way more value for your money.
Yeah, I'd see with NFL stuff. It's just also this season has been interesting to see. Like you said, who would think? I'm all the way over here in New York. Most of the chatter was, all right, we finally got rid of Daniel Jones. Week 2, we're like, well, come on, Daniel Jones. Why did we get rid of him? It's just some of these stars. You just say like, what the heck's going on? Like are they in a different, just different playbook? The different setting, what is it that makes this guy all of a sudden 1 year to the next, finally come out of his shell, or just kind of just get right along with that formation and just what kind of plays that they're doing, the coaching staff. Obviously, there's so many factors. So from a collector's side, a lot of times it's just like, what is this price going up and down? But the guy's life is changing altogether. Sometimes
See,
it's
like,
just a good
Paulie,
night.
But that's a good example too. Like Daniel Jones this year is top 10 in MVP voting. He has the best record in the AFC, tied for 5-1. He's played very well as well. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's having an unbelievable season, but Daniel Jones is playing Pro Bowl level football. You know who else sells Daniel Jones like 10-1 right now? Jackson Dart.
Yeah,
I like Jackson Dart. I'm glad that he dives headfirst into linebackers and he's gonna have CT by the time he's 26.
Listen, man, he got that extra yard.
I love watching him, and like it's great. But that, in a nutshell, explains the card market. One dude who was playing unbelievable for a team in a division that stinks and is probably going to win the AFC South and host a playoff game. The other guy plays for the Giants, has played 2 games, played well. Like I think Jackson Dart is fun. Like maybe he's a cool project, but Jackson Dart outsells Daniel Jones. PSA 10 rookie cards go for like $30 right now. Jackson Dart PSA 10 anything goes for triple that. It's a wild world.
It's something. It is crazy because it's just I guess it's that hope, It's like because look, how about Sam Darnold last year? What was Sam Darnold's prices last year opposed to what it was the year before and now probably? I mean, it's just you caught that right year. If you was stacking Sam Darnold before last year, you did well. I mean, I'm sure. And if you didn't get rid of him at this point, I mean, I don't know. Now you're stuck with him. But Billy, what do you kind of see with some of those crazy sales or trends that you kind of see, and what do you see most of at a lot of the shows and all the places you guys been over there with Steel City?
Yeah, I mean, so I think you guys hit up really all of the good points. I think it's really hard to predict the value of some of these guys. Like I don't think there's blanket advice that I could offer that could apply to every player or every sport even. some of it's not like Pokemon. Like usually with Pokemon, it's real easy to be like, all right, this is the chase card. This is the one with the value. This is what we're going for. This set's almost out of print. This set isn't, wait for the next wave, et cetera, et cetera. I think there's just so many different variables because, what happens if that really hot guy this week gets hurt and now all of a sudden nobody wants his cards? There's so many different variables like that. I think it's hard to offer advice outside of just collect what you like. And I know that's kind of like the lame answer that we always go back to as marketing people within the hobby. But at the end of the day, if you're collecting the players that you like, if you're collecting the teams you enjoy, if one gets hot, that's great. You can turn around, you can flip them for money. But I think just at the end of the day, you got to be enjoying what you're doing. I don't think there's any one player that I could point to and say, invest in this guy. He's a for sure thing, because we don't know what's going to happen 20 minutes from now, let alone 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You'd like to hope that in 10 years, 20 years, LeBron James stuff would be through the roof. But I come from a hockey background, so I always think in the back of my head, I think of like guys like Gordie Howe or Mario Lemieux, where these younger generations are coming up. They're not hearing these guys' names as often. And now all of a sudden, the next generation of hobby collectors aren't looking for that guy anymore. Gordie Howe, arguably one of the best top 5 NHL players of all time. And you can get some of his autos for $50 to $100, just because I think a lot of his fans, a lot of the people that watched him play and seen him play are kind of aging up in the hobby, or they've already bought that particular autograph. So I think there's too much of the hobby right now is the right now, right here, who's in the headlines kind of guy, where it's just too unpredictable to be like, this is a for sure investment. So my philosophy has always been the same: collect the guys you like, collect the teams you like, collect the cards you like. And at the end of the day, if one of those guys get hot and you want to flip them, that's fantastic. If one of those guys get hot and you want to keep them, even better. That makes collecting, it just enhances the experience for people.
I agree. And with the NFL, there's also, Steve, if you want to talk a little bit about NFL all day, there's been some rookie fun debut stuff going on there as well. As we're talking about the same NFL stars that are coming out, rookies or just those players, the Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes going to be like the Steph Curry, soon for the NFL, is he coming to those retirement years or not? I know how many Super Bowls he's won. Every year you think, all right, the Chiefs, I don't know if they're going to have it. He doesn't have nothing left. It's just him and Kelsey. Well, no, they're still going. They're still in the playoffs. You want to chat a little bit about NFL all day, Steve, and just explain a little bit of what exactly is going on this season?
Yeah, I think it's very similar to what we sort of already articulated, like in terms of what people are chasing, like that you have those big profile players, and then you have like that recency bias or speculation like of the players coming up. Like new is always better, almost, to quote Barney Stinson or whoever said it. They always looking for like the next new thing, the draft picks or whoever to chase, and they want to be the first one to like back them and go about that. And so not specifically like to NFL all day, I think that's sort of like kind of true for like card collecting as well, in that I like what you said about like, have your guys in terms of what you love. Like some people will support their team. I'll support like Australians, like blindly, stupidly. If they're bad, I'll still collect the Australians, but just like, because that's my connection to those collectibles. And then there's obviously like the teams and stuff as well. So the platform almost like doesn't matter. Like there's always scarcity. There's always parallels, signatures, functions, how you acquire them. But at the end of the day, everyone sort of does collect the way they want to. And that's actually always interesting and fun to see, because everyone's different and they have their own personality that way. And they really get reflected in those different collections.
What are you feeling, Mike, is just some of the excitement things in the hobby that you're looking forward to? What are some new releases or things before the end of this year that you're kind of hyped about or you want to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, basketball being flagship to me is not that exciting. It's going to sell really well because it's the first one we've had, but I think they teased Topps Dynasty and Topps Diamond Icons for basketball. I have split feelings. Like I love that they're going to make Dynasty cards. I also hate to think that there's going to be a Dynasty box that's $3,500 for one auto. Like, yeah. LeBron's never had one. Curry's never had one. We're going to have Cooper Flagg rookies. Those things went stupid expensive in baseball. I hope we see some sort of a balance with pricing. I can't imagine we will. Like high end has been crushing the last, I don't know, 5 years, just absolutely ridiculous market. So I do worry. Like, yeah, it's an awesome product, and we have licensed basketball again, and Topps is bringing back these brands. But if the box comes out at $3,000 a whack, or Diamond Icons double that, triple that, makes me a little bit hesitant to get all that excited. Like that's the one decent thing about baseball. There's so many SKUs still with baseball. You can get cheaper stuff.
Right.
Like Panini showed us, basketball and football are expensive. Like for whatever reason, those SKUs are always way, way higher. And so I have, it's a weird, I'm optimistic because I want to see it, but I'm also like, man, how do I recommend it? Because I break still. I do a ton of breaking still. How do I sell somebody on the idea of, go out and buy a random team in a dynasty box for $100, knowing that 29 of the 30 guys are going to skunk? Like it's a rough, I think pricing is going to be brutal.
Is there like a grail coming up that you'd love to, take for yourself, or a collectible for you that you'd say like, wow, this is something coming out that, looks really neat?
I'm old and boring, man. Give me old school bird stuff. I don't collect anything new to like really hold. The newest stuff I collect is like 90s refractor Griffies. Otherwise, it's like old school Larry Bird autos, pre-19 autos, like pre-2005, and then the refractors of him and stuff from before then, and Brady as well, rookie stuff from 2000. But yeah, the new stuff I like. I've not made a connection where I'm like, man, I have to have that, because those aren't the players I grew up with. Like I would rather have Griffey anything than Ohtani anything. Yeah, Otani's great. Maybe the greatest of all time when he's said and done. I don't know, but yeah, I'll take Junior.
And there's something to be said too. Once the career is done, it's kind of like that. Well, this is the guy's career, like the beginning and the end of the story. So it's also like, well, they wrote, their story in their playing days. So it's kind of okay. This guy will always stand this way to me. As far as if somebody's currently playing, you never know how the rest of that career goes. What happens if they play again tomorrow? You know what I mean? It's also things that can keep growing and get affected by that. So that's true. I love the classics. I love the old stuff too. Something we could talk about in a little bit is I've been having a lot of fun with this historic runs over at NBA Topshot. There's you can collect your old players, and there's a simulation run where it's you win free packs, or you win free memorabilia, depending on what challenges and things like that are out there. You can collect all your old players. I just did a challenge right now to get a John Starks legendary moment. So it's like I love collecting those older times. That brings you back to the the 80s, the 90s. There's Larry Bird stuff on there. It's just seeing those plays and those highlights and having them as well, with the physical stuff. I have both ends and both aspects of it. So it's just really fun to get those moments, and then you can actually put them to use and have some excitement with them over in NBA Topshot with that. But Billy, what are you thinking? What are you thinking as far as for yourself? Something out there that you're looking at, you say this is coming out before the end of the year, I'm excited about it. And what do you collect yourself personally about? What do you want? Some of your favorites that you would say, all right, this is something I'm never letting go of.
Absolutely. I apologize, but I can hear my Huskies through the noise canceling headphones. So that's just fantastic. I'm definitely a professional over here. But no, I mean, I'm just excited to, like, I know this is going to be such a lame answer. I'm excited to see like our customers get the hits more than anything. I love seeing the kids just opening up any pack. It doesn't even matter whether it is flagship basketball. I think right now flagship basketball coming up here is by far the most anticipated product before the end of the year. For baseball, for hockey, for football, I just don't think the level of new. I think Steve hit the nail on the head when he's talking about that. There's a certain amount of time where stuff is just so popular, and that's all the hobby can focus on for that time period. So I think right now the hobby is just so focused on the flagship basketball that I do think the pricing is going to continue to drive up like that. I think as stuff is released, as collectors are getting it, I think I don't want to say there's going to be like an insatiable appetite aspect to it, but I think that a lot of people are going to be buying basketball cards for the first time in years, just because Topps has a licensing even over Panini. So I think there's going to be a big demand there. I think a lot of people are going to be ripping it. And that's what I'm excited to see. Is I want to see those people get back into the hobby. Like Mike said, he doesn't really collect a lot of the new stuff. One of my goals is like how do we get you back into it? How do we get you guys wanting that new stuff? How do we get you guys wanting to go after the new stuff? So I'm excited to see what people pull. I'm excited to see collectors get back into it. From a personal side of things, like I said, I'm a hockey guy. Pittsburgh Penguins, that's my number one team. I collect a lot of game used, game worn memorabilia, different jerseys, Sidney Crosby, all kinds of great players like that. But from a trading card side of things, 25-26 Series 1 hockey drops here. I think that's going to be real excited with the Demidov Young Guns people are chasing. I think hockey right now is slept on a little bit in the hobby. I think with any hobby, there's just a maximum cap of hobby money and hobby interest. So as the basketball, baseball, and football increases, sometimes you see hockey, soccer, and some of these other trading card categories kind of decrease. But I think it's only going to continue to go up. And I think as the rookies perform well, I'm excited for SP Authentic. I'm excited for all of the 25-26. Artifacts was one of my favorites. So that one already has released by the time of this video, but that's one of my favorite annual releases to personally rip. So,
and what's in that? The artifacts. What's in that? What are some of the hits in that?
Yeah. So, our artifacts are nice because it's a very hobby friendly price level. Usually right around like $180 to $190 for 3 autos or memorabilia cards in a box. A lot of good hits in there. There's a lot of good rookie redemptions because usually by the time that artifacts drops, it's still preseason at the time. So you have your rookie chases, you have your autos and relic cards, you have your Macklin Celebrinis and Will Smiths from last year, plus the anticipation for the guys in this upcoming season. Just makes it a really great product for new collectors to get into. It was one of the first boxes when I got into the more trading card side of things. It was one of the boxes I naturally gravitated to outside of Flagship, just because it was such a budget-friendly box with a decent number of hits and some really, really good-looking cards. One of my favorites is I pulled a Mario Lemieux patch auto numbered to 5 out of a box back in like 2017-18, and I'm still chasing that high. I'm still living off that high. That was one of my favorite hits. From a shop in Pittsburgh too. So it was definitely a special moment collecting wise, and I still have that card in my collection all these years later.
That's awesome. So fun. That's just great. I love that. Getting those breaks is just you're getting something that a fan favorite of yours is just nothing beats it. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, you see something special in the pack, and it's from a home team. It's just just great. And Steve, just want to finish up here with you as well. Just kind of what are your all-time favorite collecting, and what are you excited about coming in for the season up ahead?
You were going to ask me this, and I prepared the thing I collect outside of Australians and Warriors and Steph Curry's and things would be like classic sort of jerseys that I like. And so I really like the 90s All-Star jerseys.
Oh, that's awesome stuff.
Naturally like the Kobe's or Jordans of the world. But I'm one of the few people that like the really old sort of All-Star jerseys. And deep cut the Australian Olympic jerseys where we actually won a bronze medal, first Olympic medal in Australian basketball history. So those are like some of the niche things that I collect outside of actual cards or moments on Topshot, because they're like you have that connection to them. The same reason you have with the cards. Like they just mean something to you. So anyway, that was what I prepared for you, Paulie, because I thought you were going to ask me something like that.
You got it. Listen, look at that, right on schedule. You're well prepared there. Very nice, Steve. I love it. Those jerseys are classic. And the cards just go along with it. The memories. You remember your first hit, your first real grail. It's just the stories of collecting that make it so much fun. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for coming on today. We'll definitely be following yous and putting all this out there in social. This is a great group here, dedicated and true to collecting and the hobby. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having me, Billy.
Appreciate it, Paulie.